Hey everybody! In the video coming up, we've got the worst parking experience we've ever had and how we salvaged the situation. So, thanks for watching.
Hello, we just want to talk to you about our experience. This is our first time experience about RV park that did not want that are not so friendly, that's not kids friendly. And so we were traveling like from Louisiana. We left Louisiana, and then we were traveling on the road for 3 days, been boondocking everywhere. We get dark and we stop, and then so before we already have a plan that we we booked our site in this RV park 2 weeks prior. So everything, we thought everything is good. So when we get to this RV park, everything seems okay. Charlie, he is the communicator. He went and talked to the person or in the office, and she said, to find out that site that we reserve was not open on that time. So we said, well, and then, but it's not open, but the park was almost empty. So she was like, we can put you on the other side or you can wait. And then we decided we just go ahead and get the other site, which the other site that we were not reserved to. And we went to the site, start hooking up, and then powers on. Charlie hooked everything, but then there's no water. So Charlie went to the office and then talked to her and asked why we don't have water. And then she came to our site, and the things happen, the horror things happen.
As Raquel was saying, like, we had to reserve this spot, and I went out after we, just like she said, we got everything hooked up, and the water wasn't working. I hooked up the water. So I went to the office and told her the water wasn't working. She came out, and I took the hose off the water spigot, and no water, just a little bit of water was actually coming out from around this column that they had, obviously for insulation, put over the pipe that was coming out of the ground. And she opened it up. Well, she said, "Oh, you've broken my hose. You broke my spigot. And I was wondering how I could do that with a hose hooked up to the way it's supposed to be hooked up. She took it off, and obviously there was a copper line in there, and the copper line had split. And we all know, if you've lived in cold weather, that is from frozen pipes. So she's like, well, there's too much pressure. And so she still tried to blame me for this. And so she told me, well, I guess you can hook up to the other site. And in the meantime, the kids were out playing, and I heard her go to the kids and go, don't throw those rocks. And they weren't throwing them. They were just playing in the rocks in the site. They were gravel sites. And don't play with the dog. You're not allowed to do that. We had been on the road at that point for a few days, and the kids were ready to get out and play and do things. And her saying these things, don't play with the dog, don't play with the rocks, was already, it was starting to grate on my nerves a little bit. And I'm fairly easy to get along with. But she said I could hook up to the other spigot. So I hooked up to the spigot, and we have a pressure regulator. And if the pressure is too high, it has a leak that comes out the side. And I usually sort of adjust that until there's almost no leak or no leak at all. And she's like, you can't leave that leaking all night. So I was trying to hook up my hose. I got a pair of channel lock pliers that I use on my end to twist it on, make sure it's on there tight. And I had them. She goes, you can't use those on our equipment. And I said, I'm not going to use them on your equipment. And I don't know how I could even use them on her equipment. And so I said, if it's going to be like this all the time, because we were right by her house, I said, then I don't really want to stay here. And she said, well, if you don't want to stay here, then don't stay here. And she said, I'll give you your money. And she gave me my money, and I hooked everything back up and put everything back away. And at that point, we had no place to stay. There was only like 3 or 4 RV parks near there. They were all booked when I called. And we fortunately had some friends that were in the area. You've met them before in our videos, the Dales. They were staying in an RV park that was only 10 spaces, and they were completely booked. And I called them, and they said, well, let's talk to the owners here. Just come down. And I went down to their park and just parked basically in their driveway going into the park. And they talked to the people that owned the place or that ran the place. Very nice people. Alberta and Alvin, Fling. Really great RV park. It's called Murfreesboro RV Park, and I suggest it to anybody. They're very nice people. They let us pull in the grass near our friends, and we used splitters for the water, and we used they had a different hookup, for our RV for electricity. The only thing we didn't have was sewer. And they even put us in a spot when they had one free. And they were great. They gave us a free class on how to dig diamonds, gave us free equipment to go dig diamonds with. It was a great experience. But the other place, Castle Keepers, in my experience, I would not go there for any reason again. In Murfreesboro, Arkansas, Castle Keepers gets negative 4 stars for me. It's a terrible place. So, thanks.
Subscribe, and share this!
Who are you?
Superhero.
What's your superhero name?
Batman.
Batman? Is that right?
Walden is dressing like a superhero. I don't know where he got it from.
I don't know either. I gotta go.
You need that to fly. And you need your underwear to wipe your sweat.